Good evening and welcome to the Neighbor Star League down here at the Nexon Arena Live. My name is Valdez. Join with me today is Moonglade as always. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, Valdez. What a group we have today, the group of death. And we get to see Doc play ZVT at least twice.
That's just unbelievable. And we saw in the little CGs we had there before, like there's a lot going into this group as well. TY and Dark chalking trash on each other, Dream calling them all the worst in the round of 16. I don't know how true that is. This is actually the hardest group.
Yeah.
And Maru's just like, oh, I'm going to win. I don't care what's happening now. Like,
I don't care where I go. I'm going to be the champion. And it's so
crazy.
funny that TY called out Dark because he's like, because I played him in WECG. Guess what? That was like 3 or 4 months ago now. And
yeah,
Doc has become a whole new beast since then, and everyone is scared of him except TY. Or maybe he is now. Maybe he's kind of regretting his decision for that movement because of just how well Doc is doing in recent times.
Either he's regretting it or he was just putting it on for show, like trying to talk some trash because Dark was throwing some at him, and he's like, oh, yeah, bring it on. Like, I got you. But I have one word for TY. If he didn't practice for this matchup, I think he's going down 0-2.
I think
I would not be surprised.
I think even with practice, he's going down 0-2, Valdez. This The difference in skills right now between the players is quite large. I think TY might have to break out some pretty cheesy stuff, maybe some proxy Raxes. In fact, I guarantee at least one game is going to be proxy Raxes today. Yeah,
out of TY and maybe out of Maru a little bit later on. If he goes up against Dark as well, I would not be surprised.
Maru's definitely the kind that will throw it in during a best of 3. No doubt about that.
Yeah. TY, one thing to note about him, he did do quite well recently, especially against Dream and TVT. He beat both Dream and Bomber 2-0. In the GSL to get out of his group, so he did get out in first place, but he's going up against Zerg first.
Yeah.
And facing either Dream or Maru in the loser's match or in the winner's match is going to be a hard feat for him to handle.
Especially, he's doing well in TVT, but the one thing is in TVZ, in recent times in Pro League, he lost to Curious on merry-go-round in a pretty big macro match. And Curious, I dare say, is at least 1 or 2 levels below where Dark is at right now. So it's kind of scary just going into this thing, but at the same time, we did see Doc drop his most recent Pro League game. He lost to Biel.
Biel played fantastically in that game. You really had to hand it to him there. But guys, if you come down to the studio here during the Neighbor Star League, you can win a bunch of stuff. You can get a signed mouse pad. After the players do win, they sign some mouse pads and give them out to members of the audience. Could also get, I believe, some collector's editions for Warlords of Draenor, maybe even a headset. So definitely come down if you guys are in Korea. If you're not in Korea, come to Korea at least once.
Enjoy the fun. Make the trip.
It's a lot of fun.
It's so much fun, especially this year is going to be 5 days a week of Starcraft 2 out here in Korea. So you have no excuse not to come and bask in the glory of it. Watch the best players in the world go at it, and get to meet me and Valdez and Wolf.
Yeah. He'll be down here as well, so you can meet all the casters. You can go over GSL as well, meet at Taste Artosis. A lot of fun stuff happening down here in Korea. It's not only a place to watch StarCraft. If you're just looking to travel, Seoul's a gigantic city. There's so much to do if you like to go out at night. Every single night you can find something to do. There's a lot of different tourist attractions as well, so definitely consider that, guys. But taking a look at the round of 16 brackets so far, Group A, Leenock and Super get out. Stats and Life from Group B. Life barely making it out of that one. Cheesed in 2 Protosses in a row.
Cheesed his way out, that's for sure. Then we have Deer and Rogue from Group C. And today, the final Group D, it's going to be TY, Dark, Dream, and Maru going into this round of 8 here.
And here you guys can actually see the round of 8 little bracket we got going on here. Looks like Leenock's going to be going up against the second place of Group D here. Whereas the first place of Group A is going up. First place of Group D is going up against the second place of Group A over there on the right side. And you can also see the dates there. It's going to be February 12th for the first half of the round of 8, and then February 26th for the second half of the round of 8.
Okay, so I look at these and I wonder where does Dark and Maru want to go, because I feel like they're the two favorites coming out of this group. But where would they want to land? I feel like maybe Maru would want to go for Leenock. So he'd probably want to be gunning for first place. And maybe Dark would be more comfortable with someone like Super. Because I feel like Dark's maybe one weakness, especially after seeing him in Pro League, was the ZVZ.
Yeah, definitely having a little bit of trouble in that matchup. But guys, as we have talked about a lot before, this is our Group D, our group of death, actually, because every single one of these players is so good. Both Dark and Dream coming out of that SKT lineup, some newer guys Some new rookies really proving themselves nowadays and just playing unbelievably well, whereas TY has been around for so long, and Maru is just a beast these days as well.
Yeah, Maru's been doing very well for himself, obviously getting second place at IEM Taipei, losing 4-3 to Life. So his TVZ is no joke coming into this.
Oh, yeah. I saw some, stuff on forums. Some guy was like, that's the best macro I've ever seen out of any Terran ever. Some thoughts like that being even thrown around is just a big boost to Maru's image, of course. This guy is just an unbelievable player. That's why we definitely do favor him to get out of this group. I'd actually say maybe throw him in first place here ahead of Dark.
Man, it's going to be so close when we get to that winners match. It should be Dark and Maru if everything goes according to plan, if everything makes sense. Unless TY maybe sneaks out a win with some proxy racks or something like that. And it's going to be such a match. Like, I cannot wait to see how these players play against each other. It's going to be so close. And I can't explain it any harder than that, man.
Yeah, man. We just, like you were saying, Maru getting to the finals of IEM Taipei, losing to Life. But Life is like the other Boneswa these days, is playing unbelievably strong. Dark, maybe just a small step below that guy. We're going to see a match comparable to the finals of IEM Taipei, and that is just amazing.
Yep, easily. But here we go with our first match. It is TY. He did defeat Scarlet in the Challenger match to get to this stage. And pretty one-sided affair. Scarlet trying a lot of all-ins. And she made it work once, but after that, TY kind of played pretty safe and kind of just closed out the other 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely very hard to cheese TY. He's definitely one of the safest Terrans that I can think of here in Korea. Definitely very good against Protoss and Zerg in terms of all-ins. And I think this is the time where Scarlet actually did make it work with the Ling Bane all-in up there.
And one thing to note, just a little note on the side, is TY didn't attend the GSL group selections last night due to his poor health, so hopefully he's feeling better today. But I know in recent times he was suffering from the flu, and maybe that'll come into play, or maybe it came into play in his practice.
Yeah, man. He looks actually pretty tired. You can see him actually sleeping in the booth here.
Never a good
taking
sign.
a little nap, a little 2-second nap.
Never a good sign.
When he came into the makeup room, actually, he just kind of waddled in. He was very, very low energy, and that is not where you want to be when you're facing this guy. It's Dark, an unbelievable player coming out of SK Telecom T1, really looking to make a big name for himself. I remember in an interview when he got the MVP of somewhere, I think it was round 4 of last season's Pro League, he was like, I want to be known as one of the best Zergs on SK Telecom, ahead of Solky at the time and Sue. So he's definitely making that name for himself nowadays.
That's right, and he did beat down Potting in the Challenger match, as we're getting a view of it now. And he's doing very well in GSL. He got out of his group nice and easy against players like, I believe it was MMA and Deer. Fell short in recent Pro League match against BL just before the playoffs, but I mean, one ZVZ doesn't kind of indicate too much.
Of course, yeah. I definitely like to get a look and see how good a ZVZ is in the future as well. I'm sure he's going to be practicing that matchup a lot. But we're just witnessing the 3-0 that occurred by Dark to definitely crush Parting out of this entire tournament.
Yeah, and one thing to really note, and I feel like one thing that made Dark pretty popular was his style against Terran, specifically going Corruptors instead of Mulists, which really helps out in destroying Medivacs, soaking up mine hits. It's like such a cool idea, and I can't wait to see if he's going to use it today.
Really is, man. Well, here we go, guys. The bans and picks for the maps. TY banning King Sejong Station and Overgrowth, a couple of 2-player maps, whereas Dark banning out Catalina. No surprise there, and Nimbus as well. So we're going to go into Deadwing as the first map, then into Merry-Go-Round as the second one, and Foxtrot Labs for set number 3.
Yeah, pretty standard maps overall. Kind of interesting that we do see King Sejong and Overgrowth kind of get banned out from TY. I mean, there's a pretty standard sort of maps these days, most common maps you will see, but maybe TY wants to play a little different today.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll have to see exactly what kind of builds these 2 players are going to go for. What does TY have prepared for this monster of Dark? Let's jump into set number 1, match number 1 on Deadwing of Group D. Down here in the bottom left in the red, the Terran player from KT, he is TY.
And up here in the top right, one of the most powerful Zergs in the world right now, it is Dark. Looking fantastic in this Crops map. Spawn locations. It's going to be a pretty big map, pretty potentially long game, Valdez. Obviously, in my impression, Terran would much prefer to go for the vertical spawn so they can do a nice and easy push up to the third base / fourth base. Try and cancel that as quickly as possible. Keep applying pressure, gain the momentum, upgrade advantage, and composition advantage.
Yeah, I mean,
close out the game as best they can.
I would definitely agree with you. It does make sense what you're saying, but the thing that really strikes me is TY's bans. You know, banning out Sejong Station, banning out Overgrowth. That's two of the more small maps. You know, 2-player maps that we have in the pool. So maybe he's actually trying to go to super late game against Dark. We already see him going for what looks like a CC first.
It seems that way, yeah.
Maybe just trying to play the very long game here against Dark. He doesn't want Dark to be able to go any type of aggressive build against him.
He certainly doesn't really have a choice on this map, simply because it is so big. Like, doing a proxy on this map is just not going to happen. But you might be right there. But I wonder if that's really where he wants to go. If he's not in the best of shape, if his health condition isn't the best. Losing recently to Curious in a kind of a long-winded macro game. Does he really have what it takes to beat someone like Dark in a macro game?
Yeah, I don't know. That is a big question, you know. But sometimes players, they just feel something about their play. Maybe they just practice with someone on their team and they were winning in those long macro games, and so they wanted to try it out here against Dark. But like you were saying, I would definitely still favor Dark in that kind of long game. You know that series they were talking about from WECG? I remember me and Wolf were casting that, and there were a lot of long games in that series as well. And Dark, you know, did quite well in that series, I have to say.
You know what? Maybe TY has figured out how to deal with Dark's composition as well. Because, you know, as I was saying before, Dark likes to make corruptors against sort of bio, medivac sort of composition that we always see. And maybe TY has another plan for it. Because I wonder, I feel like maybe that is it. Maybe he's kind of figured out exactly how Dark is winning these games in the late game. I'm not sure. Only time will tell, Valdez. And until then, we are starting off with a pretty greedy game from both players. And a decently timed Zergling speed, going to be done around the 6-minute mark. Hard to say if there will be any aggression, especially on this map. The natural sort of chokes are pretty easy to wall off for the Terran. And besides that, yeah, just a long sort of rush distance.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be even surprised to just see TY just turtle back here. We do see him throwing down a factory now, as well as a reactor on that barrack. So probably going to be looking to make some Hellions out here, put on the pressure. Even though it is a long map, Hellions are quite fast. They can get across that map pretty fast. So,
yep, it's a pretty good map for Hellions. Obviously, you'd want to get at least 4 out. This is the standard, and to deny as much creep as you can. Keep the Zerg inside their base for as long as they can. Deny any sort of Zergling run-bys or Zergling scouts. And I wonder what else his plan is. We do see a starport going down after this. I wonder if we are going to see perhaps...
Ooh, okay.
Hold on, he's going to be making Marines from that reactor. Going for a tech lab on the factory.
Yeah, hold that thought.
Hold that thought.
Everything we thought so far about this build has changed.
I wonder if we're going to see him go into tanks from this. I think that would be the only option with a fast tech lab. We'll see when he has enough minerals. Getting that impression, Valdez. Or unless he's just going to simply use it.
I guess he could swap it to the starport.
Oh, okay. So perhaps he's going to be doing a drop behind the debris in the Zerg's base, which can be pretty effective. Something we haven't seen for a while, but obviously you can drop tanks, as we see Zerglings attacking it now. Maybe need a few more Zerglings because the tank's going to get there pretty quickly, and this could really sort of damage the economic situation of the Zerg.
Yeah, I mean, TY definitely one of the biggest guys who used to use this build all the time on this map, as well as on King Sejong Station behind the rock. So, you know what? I think you could definitely be right. You could try to go for that, although he is only making 1 tank.
Yeah, I mean, it's 1 tank is all you need to kind of make drones run from the mineral line for quite some time until you either get Mutalisks out or you've dealt with the debris fast enough. And let's have a look. Still, oh, it should actually be down by the time this Medivac gets there, so very smartly done from Dark.
A great mindfulness, just knowing about the player that he's going up against. It makes sense. You know, you just don't want to be open to that kind of thing. And look at this, skirting around the edge, although he does get seen there by the watchtower, so Dark should be able to handle this easy peasy.
Yep.
Look, we do have a bunker coming up over here.
Ooh. All right, so that's his kind of contingency plan after he does the initial harassment. He sees the debris has already been destroyed. His plans have been foiled. The SCV cannot make that bunker. Dark is in a perfect position.
Yeah, he's totally fine. This entire drop is probably going to get no damage. Dark is trying to find that medevac now. He's going to be able to keep tabs on it the entire time here. I mean, he may want to try to drop there at the third base, follow up with some Hellions possibly on the low ground to defend here. Look at this, already some Zerglings.
But 4 Hellions coming up. That's going to wipe out the Zerglings. Is going to give enough space for this tank to set up shop. And we are seeing another big swell of Zerglings from Dark. And the Spire's only just gone down, so it's going to be a while before Muta's can help out with this.
Okay, so TY actually finding a spot on this map to make this work here. Very nicely done. If there was one player to make it work, it would be TY, so.
One small mistake already from Dark. We are seeing he has not taken the 4th gas in his main base. So his Mutalisk count is going to be a lot lower than it should be at this time. A little bit of a slip up there. He's going to realize now and put it down.
2i being quite aggressive with this drop. He's got that tank back there, even making a supply depot to help protect it just a little bit. Not even fully build it. It's just there for protection. He can cancel it whenever he wants. And reduce, of course, the surface area of some Lings if they want to get over there. Nice scan here. Is going to see the lair, but the Spire's at the natural.
Yeah, he should know it's coming up. It's pretty much the standard at this point. And without being able to saturate that third base, there's not much other choice that Dark has than to go for a lot of mutas and deal with this tank. Actually seeing Queens try and reach it, but they can't.
We do see Dark throwing down a 4th hatchery already at that 4th base. I mean, it is so far away from the Terran that it is probably going to be safe, especially with those rocks broken down. But TY's looking to punish. He is sending out a couple of drops here, even a Viking, to help clean up these Overlords that we'll be spotting.
Oh, yeah, there's so many Overlords. And the Overlords have seen that drop. Zerglings will be in place momentarily.
A couple of Hellions in this drop. But again, like you were saying, Zerglings ready at every corner. Down here at the 4th, up there in the main, and now mutas are out. He's going to have to boost away, but already taking a bit of damage.
Yeah, going to be forced to drop. Going to be looking for drone kills. And now, finally, Dark will be able to deal with this tank drop. So there are a lot of Marines there waiting. 2 medivacs.
Oh my god, this Viking already has 3 kills on Overlords. Now the mutas will be able to clean it up, save that last one. So that is going to supply block Dark here for a bit. It's going to be annoying to have to rebuild those guys.
Dark is stabilized essentially at this point, still waiting to get rid of this tank. Such a hard position to deal with, especially now that Marines have 1-1 and Stim, so he needs more than mutas to really help out. Yeah, creep spread is good for Dark. It's getting towards the middle of the map. Let's see if TY is going to start trying to get rid of this, start cutting off the heads of the tumors, getting rid of these active tumors.
Yeah, you definitely want to. That creep is quite thick as well, so definitely want to get rid of those guys.
Ooh.
You see some Widowmines now added into the mix for TY. He knows that Banelings are going to be a problem in a bit here. And uh-oh, some of these Hellions getting surrounded by a lot of Lings. Looking to follow up with some Banelings, and even the Mutas getting into the mix, taking out a couple of the Medivacs. And this is definitely going to push TY back from cleaning up that creep. We do see a bunch of more creep tumors were queued up there by the Queens. I'm not sure if they actually got down. But we do see Dark definitely being conscious of keeping that creep pretty thick there in the middle of the map.
Yeah. Finally, that tank goes down, so we can populate the 4th base. And now Dark is essentially stabilized. He's looking good. He's keeping up with upgrades. Everything is in place for him to have a good Mutaling Bane composition at a nice enough time, be able to try and destroy this parade push that's going to be coming across the map from TY. And as we see from TY, there is no 4th CC anytime soon. So he's definitely trying to make his mark now, trying to do the damage he can, try and get to that 3rd or 4th base. He just has to kill one of them, and he'll have such a lead in this game.
Dark has 89 drones off of 4 bases. His economy is booming at this point. He can basically make anything that he wants right now. I think he's just going to stay on this for a while. He can make a 5th base, maybe over towards the right. But for now, he's in a great spot.
Yeah, so long as you're at least 1 base ahead of your opponent with Zerg, you're doing pretty good for yourself. You can be in a pretty comfortable position. But we did see him go up to the 7 and 8th gas, which is something we don't always see from Zerg. So he will be going towards that hive tech after that infestation pit is finished, which is something I think pretty good for this map considering how big it is.
TY at the moment being very careful not to get too far on creep.
Oh my goodness. Those Zerg and splits were perfect.
They basically were. That Moda Mine on the right hit 1 Zergling. And now that opens up the Baneling some room to come in, and it's going to push TY way back all the way towards his base.
Ooh,
the splits are good.
Yeah.
And not much damage being done. But again, Darky does have a lot more to follow up. I'm not sure if he should be attacking into this. I mean, the Widow Mines weren't burrowed. So he was looking to get some damage done, but he will back off now. Just buying himself some more time for that hive, I guess, and just buying himself some space in the middle of the map to take this 5th base at the same time.
Yeah, he's just giving himself space. And, I mean, this is perfect for him right now. Terran should not be getting pushed back this badly at this point. And still no 4th CC on the map for TY, so he's going to have to make something happen soon. With this 5th base already on the way for Dark, he is just going to get so far ahead.
Yeah, man. Do see that 4th CC is being made. But again, it's not down there mining. It's going to be a while before it does get down there. It's going to make into an orbital now.
I totally missed it, Valdez. It's in the main base.
Well, here we go. Some harass there at the natural wall. Trying to pull in some Banelings towards the 4th base, but he's like, oh, you don't have a 4th base? What?
No, yeah, it's pretty surprisingly. Yeah, it is a pretty late one, that's for sure. And yeah, it's going to be planted down now and definitely made into a planetary.
Yeah, I think, some decent Widowmine hits. They're actually hitting a ton of Lings in the mineral line as well as some of those drones. But, yeah, I mean, Dark's got to be pretty happy with this so far. He's got so much room on the map. He has the best economy you could hope for. He's now gotten to hive. He's making that Ultralisk Den. And TY's barely even on his creep.
TY is pretty ahead in upgrades, though. He's going to have his 3-3 very soon, which is going to give him a nice advantage next time they fight. But the creepers just spread out so far that he might not even get a chance to fight before he's comfortable. And we are seeing the Lings try and go in again, but there are so many Widow Mines with the Drilling Claws upgrade. It's going to be a hard fight no matter what.
Yeah, already 10 Widow Mines in the mix here. Did see a decent number of Lings go down to 1, about 9 of them. And it's going to be a while before he can actually push onto this. He's going to send some Banelings forward, try to blow some up. He gets 1.
Yeah, definitely not worth it. But still, he can do it. He's got a decent bank. He's nearing max. He just needs to keep the Terran back.
Yeah, keep him back, get your 3-3, get some Ultralisk out on the map, and then maybe look for a fight. TY, on the other hand, is going to look to push it here on the creep. But again, there's just so much of it. And here we go. Dark's going to push in. A bunch of Banelings going down here, actually. Not the greatest hits. Good splits out of TY. Even a Thor taken for a long time as well. But a whole drop does get cleaned up in the meantime.
Nice. Yeah. Not the best engagement. A lot of Lings wrapping around that Thor, giving the Bio like plenty of opportunity to clear it up. So this is going to be TY's kind of like one opportunity here as we see Lings and Ultras come out next. And a great Baneling hit, getting rid of at least 3 Widow Mines.
Really nice hit there. Another drop coming in. The Widow Mine just get down there, and both of them, one of them only hits onto the mutas. Another one going down onto the drone, so 14 kills going down, adding up with this 3rd base damage. And Dark, he needs to buy himself some more time. He needs more Banelings here. He's got 1 Ultralisk in the back. See how the Widow Mine hits are.
Oh, not the best Widow Mine hits. Everything's going to get cleaned up. Mutas cleaning up, but not before he loses that 4th base. And Widow Mines still remain around the map, doing bits of damage to the Zerg army. I
mean, at the same time, Dark still does have this 5th base. He has pushed the Terran totally back here. His 3-3 is about to finish. So you were saying that was basically TY's one time there to get a lot of damage done. He got some damage done, but I don't think it was enough, personally.
No, me neither, Valdez. Not when there's Ultras on the map. Infest is being made. 3-3 just about to finish. +3 air attack on the way as well. Dark is in such a comfortable position now, especially because the creep is still over TY's side of the map.
Yeah, Dark has been so meticulous about this the entire game. Whenever TY goes on the creep and scans and clears up some creep, we see a bunch of queens always go out and replenish it and just make sure that it doesn't go totally down. So really nice idea by Dark there.
Yeah, double drop into the natural where the Spire is looking for some damage. Gonna get that Spire, which is pretty big. Gonna be denying that +3 attack.
Yeah, that's really bad here for Dark. Dark just cleaned up a drop of 4 Widow Mines and Medevac over there towards the right side where he's taking a 6 base now. But again, that drop there at the natural is going to buy TY some time to come onto that creep, clear some more up, possibly look to push towards that 6 base off the creep.
Yeah, he's got to be careful there. Zerg can kind of surround this position. And there is Infestors now with these Baneling Ultra. But a decent foothold for TY. We're going to see some Banelings go in, try and clean up these Widow Mines. Gets rid of every single one of them, actually.
Yeah, he really does. Now the Mutas and the Ultras pushing forward. A nice fungal there on the right side and the left side here. And TY's going to be totally cleaned up.
Oh, completely cleared up. This is the power of this composition this late into the game, especially if you've got creep spread to help you out. It's just so hard for the Terran to engage, especially on a big open map like Deadwing. Cross map. So hard. We're even seeing planetaries being put down in the middle of just outside of TY's base just to help out and kind of try and funnel in this Zerg army. But I think it might just be a little too late.
Now even Dark pushing a little bit too far forward with his Mutas. Losing a bunch of them there, trying to take out a Thor. But nice micro out of TY. And yeah, I mean, what we were talking about when this game first started, TY looked like he was trying to get into the late game against Dark, but Dark is totally controlling this game from the get-go.
Yeah, he's way too comfortable in this kind of situation. And it's the nature of the map, essentially, Valdez. I mean, what can you do? You kind of force in this kind of situation. And against a beast like Dark, this is what's going to happen.
Dark even having the mindfulness to come over there and creep that 5th base. This late in the game, like 25 minutes in, he's still denying TY even the slightest of advantages.
Doing everything he can. And it looks like he's going to posture up, trying to deny this 5th base from TY, which I think is pretty important, and just simply choking him out. And while that's happening, we are seeing a Widow Mine drop into 6th base. Here's one Widow Mine kind of sitting there, but that's about it. I think it got like 1 drone.
The rocks were pushed down here by TY, but they are going to be cleared up by some Ultralists. Now Dark even in position to push back this drop. Going to be doing absolutely no damage, and now pushing in towards the 5th base. A lot of SCVs being caught out here. No army to support. So that 5th base isn't going to be coming down anytime soon.
Ooh, this might be a mistake from Dark, though, going a little too deep.
Oh, man, so many of those aliens to go down here.
Oh, he doesn't use them in time. Oh, so close.
And not the greatest hit. And here we go, a big drop at the 6th base now. This is going to be going down. TY slowly crawling his way back into this one.
Yeah, finding some good positioning, good drops. And it's also kind of a hard thing for Zerg to be everywhere at once, especially against 3-3 bio drops on a map this big. You either got to be in position or you're not. Static defensive Zerg can only do so much at this time of the game. Ooh, good position there. Going to get rid of an Ultra as well. Plus the Widow Mines. Everything kind of just so costly right now.
Oh, no!
12 kills on that Widow Mine.
This is way too much. TY's Widow Mine play has been spot on this game, I have to say.
He's got momentum, man. He's starting to drop everywhere. If you look at the top left of the map, we do see 4 Medivacs going towards the natural.
Yeah, Thor even included in that one. And look at this. Coming out here, dropping at the 6th base at the same time, scanning at the natural. Maybe able to take out this hatchery once again. And the 7th base over here, I guess you can call it, does get canceled as well. We do see Corruptors on the production tab finally here.
Finally.
For Dark.
Here comes a big drop into the 4th base. Ooh, he's taking a lot of drone damage. He should be able to clean this up, especially with a fungal, but still.
Ooh, yeah.
Has the damage been done already? It's pretty decent bank for Dark still, but he's going to have to start remaking these bases, re-droning up. We will run dry pretty quick.
Still needs that mining. It looks like TY is even taking a 6th base down there towards the right side of his 3rd. So if TY can get, steady on a couple more mining bases here and continue the pressure, even on the creep now, he could make something happen.
And here we go. Nice spread. A lot of Widow Mines. And everything getting kind of cleaned up here. Still a lot of Marauders still left. They're going to get rid of a couple of Ultras at least. Despite the creep spread. TY feeling confident to come on here and start trading.
You see this base now mining over here. Dark actually does not know about this base, which is a problem. He may want to send something over there if he knew. But for the moment, we do see now 6 Broodlords on the production tab. A lot of those Corruptors were used for the defense against the Medivacs first, and now they're being morphed.
Now, this is a big move. There is nothing really to fight Broodlords whatsoever. There's no Vikings on the map. We do see mostly Marauder production as well as a lot of Widow Mines. So this could be the one tech switch that could really get Dark ahead. But he's really going to have to start dealing with these extra bases that are pretty left unguarded, especially the one to the bottom right. There's simply nothing there but mules.
Do you see that 7th base getting dropped once again? This drop of Widow Mines is looking to get cleaned up by Dark. Will be pushed back, at least for now. Another drop coming in here at the 3rd, but it will be pushed back again.
And yet another base going to be taken from TY while he goes about these drops. And that would be the 6th base of TY. 7th base, I think, actually. Yeah, 7th base.
Wow.
Mid left. The Broodlords have been spotted, so he knows exactly where they are on the map, which is also a big problem in itself because they are so immobile, and the Terran army is so mobile when you have Medivacs that he can just kind of avoid them, go around them, drop everywhere else. As we see, TY had, once he spotted them, he started moving onto the map, he started dropping everywhere, starting to clear more creep with his main army. Got to be careful, that is a big army of Dark.
A lot of Banelings do get bunched up. The Widowmine hits are not the greatest, and some bundles get down onto the Medivacs as well. And TY will once again be pushed back.
Yeah, that was very one-sided. A great crushing army there. Still, counterattacks everywhere. Drops into the main base. Same time,
man.
The Natural is being attacked. Cannot afford to lose the Baneling Nest either. Lings are going to clean that up.
He can't lose all this tech. He is coming back now with some Lings. Widowmine hits aren't the greatest. Nice splitting here by Dark, and it will be pushed back. Dark only taking a queen in damage. But now TY possibly dropping here at the 4th base once again, while pushing towards the 6th.
He is just finding so much space. So much space. Nice fungal, but that's a lot of Widowmines. Going off onto Corruptors, though, and Corruptors can take 2 Widowmine hits.
This gets totally cleaned up.
Very nice.
Oh, and now the base over here from TY is going to be canceled, or rather forced to lift here by Dark.
Oh.
This drop over here is not getting too much damage done.
So important. Yeah, not getting much done just yet. But I mean, there is CCs everywhere at this point. Even bottom right, we have a CC being made. So TY is trying to just stay in contention. He's got places to drop mules everywhere, which is pretty much important at this point of the game. You have so many mules with so many orbitals.
We do see a lot of the units of Dark now moving towards what I guess can be called the 7th CC over here towards the left side. Looking to put an end to this, all this expanding of the TY here late in the game. But of course, he is being dropped in the main at the same time here. A lot of SCVs are fighting in this battle. And now getting a decent spread here, a decent concave behind that little hole there in the wall. Yep. TY. Where are the Broodlords actually on the map?
They're actually defending the main base from that drop. And a massive fungal on the Vikings. That's just very important. He has to get rid of these. One big thing to note is that those Vikings did clean up the Overseer. So Widow Mines are going to be running, pretty much doing whatever they want and not being detected for it. So a lot more longevity in them. Which is going to make the Zerg probably think twice about engaging.
Now moving forward is Dark, looking to take out this Planetary. Start getting to work on TY's defenses right here at the front. A huge Baneling landmine here. He's going to get a lot of Marines, actually. Not the gigantic hit, but it was pretty decent. And now pushing forward behind the racks. Some nice connections down there at the south as well, but Dark not having too many reinforcements. These Broodlords are so slow.
Yeah, finally they're here. But still there's so many Vikings and not much of a buffer.
And I don't think the Infestors have that much energy either.
No, they pretty much expelled most of their energy. Maybe 2 fungals, 3 fungals in this army. If he gets every single Viking with the fungal, maybe he can clean him up without taking too much damage, but still. Doc is out of essentially out of money at this point too. He is running low. His bank is all but depleted.
Look at this base. It's been harassed since it came down in the first place. And Dark just has not been able to deal with it up until now.
Man, even in the bottom right base is still going strong for TY. Dark is not really all over the map like he should be with Overlords or Zerglings. And, I mean, that completely undefended base that we do see in kind of like the mid-right-ish for TY, nothing there except mules and a few SCVs the whole game long.
No detection over there at that 6th base. Nice splitting here by Dark. Nice mindfulness even now to be on top of not getting all of his drones squashed there by that one Widowmine. Will be cleaned up eventually. But again, TY just following up with a small Marine drop at the same time. Going to protect that Widowmine.
Yeah, it's making things even harder. Looks like he might actually get rid of it. Nope. Finds another spot for it. Wow. Oh, that is so frustrating.
CC is going to be taken down over there. Not sure what the story with that one was. It looks like that was the 7th CC possibly, just floating around.
Yeah, I think we got like 7 more. Anyway, Valdez, I mean, that bottom right can be the new 7th. That is pretty much pretty well saturated at this point.
Dark had a nice mining base over here, but TY's going to shut it down. Not letting him breathe for 1 second. May even be able to take down that hatchery. It's going to be pretty close here.
Ooh, nice fungal. This should clean it up before they kill the hatchery.
Oh, it's so low. 139.
Yeah, one more drop will clean that up no matter what, essentially. Now we're kind of... They're trading a lot of blows. But, man, Dark is just not scouting enough at this point. He really needs to scout these extra bases that are pretty vulnerable.
Dark's not mining any gas.
That's a good point.
He's down here at 112 gas. He's not mining any gas. He finally took control of that 6th base. He's getting a couple bases in the north at the same time.
Oh my god, great target fire. Gets rid of like half the Lings and Banelings. Maybe he should be thinking about leading with the Broodlords. Actually, he doesn't even have an Overseer with this group. He needs to get that before he does anything on the map. There's so many Widowmines still. And another drop in the top left.
Yep, hatchery going to be canceled. You see a scan coming down here towards the 6th base. And a lot of infestors out here all alone. That one Marauder still getting some damage down. Killing one of those infestors. And uh-oh, a lot of these long-distance mining SCVs are going to go down. Dark finally getting some pressure onto that half of a base, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, he's starting to explore a little bit more with his Zerglings still. He should be checking the bottom right more than anything else. You're now seeing more Terran units get cleaned up. But a pretty decent bank for TY at this point. And so many Widowmines in this mix. He's got to be so careful how Dark engages. And there they go. Pretty decent hits, but not enough to kill any Ultras.
Yeah, and the Ultra's still pushing forward here. All those Widowmines should be cleaned up as long as he has that Overseer. You were saying before he didn't have one.
Yeah,
looks like he did mix one in now. And he has finally scouted that base there in the mid-right. He is going to clean this up. But he has not scouted the bottom right, which is where a lot of TY's mining is coming from right now.
Essentially, I mean, about half of it at this point. Half his income is the bottom right, then you got the mid-left one. Besides that...
I think he's going to go check it now.
Oh, Vikings getting some shots on Broodlords while this is happening.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this is taking a lot of damage, actually. He's going to wake up. He can't afford to lose this.
He's losing every single one. He's still not mining any gas.
All but one. Yeah, you can only reinforce with Zerglings. And Zerglings aren't that good this late into the game. Especially against a lot of Widowmines.
Dark really needs to get on this. He's still not mining any gas. These two geysers over here not taken. The one in the top there, okay, he's finally putting down some extractors. He has begun to realize.
Yeah, because I mean, he's got 3 bases that could have 2 each.
He had 2.5k minerals and like 32 gas for about half a minute there, but he has finally taken notes. He will be able to start producing some more tech units here.
And here we go. This is going to be one of the biggest fights yet. This is kind of a must do or die. If Dark engages, he's committing a lot to it because he does not have much besides minerals for these Zerglings. And oh no.
Really nice splits, though, out of Dark, I have to say. Not losing much, only 4. He has to deal with this one, though. Only hitting a Zergling. Uh-oh, here we go over here. 8 more kills coming down from that one
man.
Widow Mine. These two players are just so good with the multitasking. They're all over the map.
Oh, finally, Doc has found the bottom right base. And this should be an easy kill. But it's going to put his whole army out of position.
He's bringing everything.
Yeah, that's a lot of Zerglings, man. How many Zerglings do we have on the map? 120. 120 Zerglings.
Looks like TY at the same time he's going to look to push and deny some of dark spaces. So he is going towards the north.
This was the biggest problem, kind of sending your whole army to the bottom right. It leaves such a big avenue of counterattack open. And now TY is in a perfect position. Widow Mines everywhere. A great concave, a great spread. I don't think Dark can actually fight into this anymore.
He needs his Lings. He needs his Banelings as well. A couple of Fungals do go down, but that's not enough.
That's nowhere near enough. And he's going to lose at least 2 of these bases. TY might not want to try and engage in the third one. He should, though. I mean, the top one.
Looks like he's pushing in now. Is Dark. A lot of Lings moving forward. A really nice Fungal there, actually, on the right and left side. There's a ton of Lings. No Banelings in the mix, though, but looks like he may just be able to clean this up, even so.
Yeah, it looks like he will with these hundreds of Lings. Finally clean things up. Actually getting rid of nearly every Viking as well.
And look at this. TY, he's got 32 minerals. He's barely mining. He's going to deny this base as well. TY's down to 65 supply. This is his last mining base right here, what we're seeing.
Yep. That bottom right base cost him a lot of income. 60 supply.
GG.
GG. Finally.
Wow, what a crazy game.
Dude, that was a sick game.
That was a 44-minute long slugfest, Moonglade.
Oh, man. I wasn't bored for a second.
Neither was I.
I love that. TVZ, man, just such a fantastic matchup.
These are actually the kind of games that we were seeing out of these two players play during WCG. Like, I know that was a while ago, and Dark has gotten much better, I do have to say. But that was just the way these two players play. You know, when they come up against each other, they both want to play macro. They both want to play for the long game. And as we see now, Dark seeming to feel a little bit more comfortable, at least today.
Yeah. Oh, man. What a game. Next map is going to be a merry-go-round, so things might go a little bit faster, Valdez.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. You know, about half the map size.
Yeah.
A lot more aggressive bases to be attacked on the 3rd and 4th. And we did see actually TY fall on this map to Curious. I keep forgetting his name.
Well, I don't know. I really have to hand it to TY to actually have the guts, the balls to just like play against Dark on that giant map.